Good morning, Florida lacrosse fans. Morning coffee with Lee Roggenberg, March 10th, Thursday. Almost there, the end of the week already. The season's flying by. First thing I want to do is I want to send a thank you out to Landon Olson. Landon is a freshman playing for Mitchell High School this year. He was our 5,000th Twitter follower yesterday. Congratulations. Thank you, Landon. If I can think of something appropriate outside of this shout out, I'll try to come up with something, for you. Maybe if we actually make some morning coffee mugs, I'll try to get one to you. Okay, before we get too far, if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button. If you already have, it's on you to find me 5 more subscribers, but we appreciate all the efforts and all the care and etc. Hit the like button if you like the video. So let's kind of get into it. The boys and the girls schedules last night were a little light. On the other hand, the colleges were pretty heavy. A lot of the schools did out of conference Wednesday afternoon games. Those who kind of looked at the website yesterday and this morning noticed press release after press release after press release after press release. That's just, sometimes the nature of the business. And I like to get those out of the way quickly so that you can kind of find your favorite college and take it there. Before I get into the recap of the high school games, I want to talk briefly about our feature on the homepage called Report Media Coverage. You might have noticed yesterday we printed an article written by Christopher Paul up in the Panhandle about Niceville High School. This is the exact type of article that is easy for you to forward to us, via a link. We have you click on Report Media Coverage. The drop-down menu allows you to fill in a couple of things. That comes as a direct email to me so that I can do an excerpt article on that from around the state. There are so many locations around the state that are have local papers, local TV stations that are starting to cover the sport at a greater pace. And if you see something that makes sense for us to link to, please do us the favor of going ahead and filling out Report Media Coverage. Now, that's also very usable for, let's say that a Florida kid is playing in college, doesn't matter what division, 1, 2, or 3. There's an article on them, like Sammy Fisher's Player of the Week, or this person had a great hand in designing a charity drive, or any sort of feature article on a Florida grad playing in college that you come across. Use Report Media Coverage and let us know so that we can also put that link up on the website. Easiest way for us to keep track of how our kids are doing at the next level. Okay, let's get to the boys' scores. Tahapakaliga 12-4 over Ocoee. Mild upset up north. Nice rebounding with an 11-10 win over Oak Hall. That's an excellent win for Nice. Childs 15-8 over Leon. Robinson 8-6 over Sickles. Oviedo 8-6 over Vieira. Northside Christian 6-5 over Admiral Farragut. Lake Mineola 13-6 over Lake Wales. Sun Lake 5-4 over Cypress Creek. Venice 15-8 over Out of Door Academy. And Boone 14-6 over Edgewater. Easy winners last night: St. Petersburg, Mitchell, Heritage Plantation, Creekside, Sebastian River, Mandarin, Holy Trinity Episcopal, Wellington, Spanish River, and Newsom. Now, remember, at-large bids, a lot of these games that I read off that you kind of sit there and say, well, why is Lee paying attention to this one? Well, these are the games that we're going to look back and say, this is why number 8 got the bid and why number 9 didn't. And as you'll see, as we get to that first coverage of the first FHSAA power rankings, you'll see what we're talking about. On the girls' side last night, Boca Raton 17-10 over Palm Beach Central. West Orange 15-6 over Dr. Phillips. St. Andrews 18-10 over Oxbridge. Forest with the 8-0 win over Gainesville. Sickles 13-5 over Robinson as they continue their push for an at-large. Seminole Ridge 8-7 over Palm Beach Gardens. Ransom Everglades 7-4 over Palmer Trinity. River Ridge 12-7 over Wesley Chapel. West Broward 12-9 over Lord's Academy. And Satellite 13-9 over Melbourne. Easy winners on the girls' side last night: Boone, Lely, Wiregrass Ranch, Olympia, Pasco, Tehopekaliga, and St. John Paul. Before we get into the upcoming games, we'll go through the college information. First of all, new MCLA polls out yesterday. The Gators at 4, Florida State at 20 in Division 1, Florida Gulf Coast 8, FAU number 11 in Division 2. Florida's James Dugan was named the MCLA Division I Player of the Week. Congrats, James. That's a great honor. It's national, don't forget. And there's a heck of a lot more club teams for the men than there are Division I programs. Probably more than 1 and 2 combined when you think about it. Okay. Here we go with yesterday and today. If you haven't seen the articles on these yet, believe me, we're almost done with them. Up in Gainesville women, they beat Liberty 14-6. Amanda O'Leary's 350th win. Congratulations, Amanda. That program was built from scratch, I'm guessing, 12, 13 years ago now. Emma Lopinto with 4 goals in the win. Tampa men beat Lindenwood 11-8. Those who didn't hear, I guess about a week and a half ago, Lindenwood announced they're moving up to Division I believe, next year. Colin White, 3 goals, 2 assists for Tampa. Palm Beach Atlantic men beat Lincoln Memorial 10-3. Jupiter Christian grad Caleb Southard and Bishop Verreau grad Dylan and Solia with 1 goal each. St. Leo Young Harris game was canceled. Rollins men beat Westminster 19-11. Bailey Pringle, 4 goals, 2 assists. Marshall Ellison, 3 goals, 4 assists. Florida Southern women defeat Wingate 19-13. Buchholz grad Ellie Griffin with 3 goals in that game. The Lynn women defeated number 16 Lander. Very nice win there, 16-11. St. John Paul grad Danielle Farinas, 2 goals, 4 assists. Palm Beach Atlantic women lost 22-12 to Belmont Abbey. South Fork's Anna Lascaris led them with 4 goals. Florida Tech women beat Tusculum 18-6. St. John Paul's Carly Nero, 1 goal, 6 assists in the win. Embry-Riddle women beat Davis and Elkins. I believe the score was 23-2. Murphy McDonough with 3 goals and 8 assists for Embry-Riddle in that game, as Embry-Riddle has continued to show and surprise this year. Flagler women beat North Greenfield. Summer White with 4 goals. I believe that was 19-5. Unfortunately, I kind of typed over a couple of these scores. Embry-Riddle men beat Emmanuel 16-9. Haggerty's Christian Hoffer, 4 goals and 1 assist for them. Ave Maria in the NAIA lost to Georgetown 12-11, despite Emma Davis's 6 goals for them. We don't have anything, thankfully, coming up today on the college docket. We'll have all that behind us. Putting the finishing touches on the doubleheader at Pinecrest on Tuesday. We should have that up later today. We know that we're getting at least 1 submit game recap in today from Plant and Jupiter. Certainly look forward to that. And there's a YouTube video, highlight video that we'll embed in this, which was taken at that game. This weekend, and actually today, first game today, the MIAA is in town, as well as schools from Texas and North Carolina, high-end programs from both states. For those not familiar, the MIAA is located in and around Baltimore. It is generally considered to be the best high school lacrosse conference in the country. This is one of those few places where when you say the school name, the first thing that comes to mind is lacrosse. not basketball, football, or anything else. These are schools, a boys' Latin, for instance, which traditionally comes down every year. When you look at their homepage for high school athletics, you see varsity lacrosse, JV lacrosse, freshman lacrosse, eighth grade lacrosse, middle school lacrosse. There's about 5 teams. So by the time you get up to the high school, you don't have to learn an awful lot when it comes to the style that they want to play. But that tells you something about what our Florida teams face when they come down here. And it's also a great compliment to how we've grown the sport down here, that they want to come down here instead of going to Georgia or going to Texas or something similar. They come here to get their early games in. And that's because they know when they play St. Thomas, St. Andrews, Oxbridge, Jupiter, Ponte Vedra, Lake Highland in the past, Montverde this year, etc., that they are getting a competition level that gets them prepared and gets them ready for their regular season. We don't win a lot of the games. I can only remember a handful, particularly in 2008 when Boys Latin was knocked off by St. Andrews, 8-7 in the game I was at. So if you see one of these teams on the schedule, like Loyola Blakefield is listed as playing at Canterbury today. If you're over there and you need a game to go to, you want to see how the North plays lacrosse, go over and check that game out. We'll have plenty tomorrow we'll have a fuller list of the games for that. Now you've also got Dallas Jesuit in town. Dallas Jesuit's one of the traditional powerhouses in the entire Texas scene. They're going to be playing St. Andrews on Friday, and I'll have a more complete listing of whatever they're playing down here then. Charlotte Catholic coming down from North Carolina. They're going to be playing Ponte Vedra tomorrow. We've seen Georgia schools that have already made the trip. And I can just tell you that watching these games where out-of-state teams get to play us, it's really a joy, because even though I don't think these get included in the power rankings, it's still a great thing to see our kids put their best forward against these types of powers. You will not be disappointed if you get out and you watch one of these teams play. Okay, so on the docket tonight on the boys' side, big game for Miami Palmetto. They're at 2-2. They're traveling to Westminster Christian, 7-1. And if Palmetto has any hope of getting an at-large bid, it would be nice for them to win this one. Find a way to do so. Wharton 4-3, hosting Wiregrass Ranch. I believe they're 4-2. Jensen Beach at 7-1 is hosting Martin County at 4-1. That's even though it's 1A versus 2A, that's a key game for both of them in their power rankings. St. Thomas 5-0 is hosting Benjamin 5-2. Wonderful matchup. Wish I could get to that one, but I'm actually going to hit the next game, which is Oxbridge hosting St. Andrews. Oxbridge at 9-1, St. Andrews at 9-0. Ponte Vedra 7-1 hosting Charlotte Catholic. Flagler Palm Coast at 6-1 is hosting Buchholz at 5-2. Definitely implications on power rankings. Lakewood Ranch 4-3 is hosting Alonzo 8-1. I haven't really paid much attention to Alonzo to see where they're sort of residing in the power rankings. I'll do so today. Timber Creek, big game hosting Windermere. Timber Creek kind of on the edge of my poll last week. Windermere a little bit into it. This is a game that both teams certainly want in the win column. And Pinecrest is going to be hosting American Heritage Plantation. Pinecrest at 4-2. Heritage Plantation at 5-0. We haven't really had a chance to see yet how good Heritage Plantation is. This is going to be quite the test. Playing a Pinecrest team coming off a big game 2 days ago. On the girls' side, again, Miami Palmetto 4-2 hosting West Broward at 3-3. Stoneman at 3-3 is hosting Cypress Bay. Again, that's an interesting game for Class 2A rankings. Northeast 4-0 hosts St. Petersburg Catholic 4-2. Lake Mineola at 6-0 hosts Leesburg. I really haven't checked to see how good either of those teams are. I'll take a look today. Wellington at 5-3 is hosting Boca Raton at 9-1. Boca Raton is having a heck of a year down here. St. Augustine at 6-1 is hosting Creekside at 5-2. Implications there. Bishop Verot at 4-3, hosting Cypress Lake at 3-2. West Florida up in the Panhandle, 4-3, hosting Gulf Breeze at 5-2. If West Florida wants to get an at-large bid or win a district, this is a good night to show what they're worth. Lake Highland Prep at 5-2, looking to bounce back, hosting Bishop Moore at 4-2 in their backyard brawl. Winter Springs 5-3, hosts Apopka at 6-3. Similar thing, got to check into both of those. Haggerty coming off a tough loss, 5-3 is hosting Oviedo at 8-0. Get a chance to see the relative strengths of both. Heritage Plantation at 6-1 is hosting Pinecrest at 6-1. Bounce back game for Pinecrest after the Heritage Del Rey, so they have a chance to get a split of the heritages. Naples at 5-1 is hosting Gulf Coast at 4-1, and Winter Park at 4-3 is hosting Pensacola Catholic at 7-1. Now, good for you, Pensacola Catholic, making that trip to play that game. Glad to see that even on the women's side, we're getting more and more of the Panhandle teams venturing out to get into the other areas of the state. Keep it up. Okay. So, again, thank you, Landon Olson, Twitter follower number 5,000, freshman at Mitchell. Get out to a game tonight. Hashtag TAFTAG to take a friend with you. Lay off the refs. Grow the game. Enjoy yourself. This is Lee Roggenberg, Florida Lacrosse News, saying so long from the Sunshine State.